Police continue to examine videos of comments made by acts Bob Vylan and Kneecap at Glastonbury as the festival enters its third day. Rapper Bobby Vylan of rap punk duo Bob Vylan on Saturday led crowds on the festival's West Holt stage in chants of Free Palestine and Death to the IDF, before a member of the Irish rap trio Kneecap suggested start a riot outside his bandmate's upcoming court appearance. Also on the evening news tonight, Sir Keir Starmer has said he did not get to grips with the growing rebellion over welfare reforms earlier as he was focused on international affairs. He also said he took ownership for his decision and believed as leader he should carry the can when things do not go well. British rowing has defended its safeguarding policies in the wake of severe criticism from multiple Lena Club rounds. The athletes were reacting to the suspension of a male athlete who had been banned from rowing at the club or entering its premises following new allegations. And a scorching Sunday is in store for much of Britain as the second amber heat health alert in 2 weeks remains in place. Temperatures could hit 30 degrees in London, 28 degrees in the east of England and 28 degrees in the Midlands, the Met Office has said.
This is STV Evening News with Raggy Omar.
Good evening. Please continue to examine videos of comments made by acts Bob Vylan and Kneecap at Glastonbury as the festival enters its third day. Kneecap's set will be available on iPlayer, but Bob Vylan's will not, as our STV News entertainment reporter Rishi Davda explains.
Free!
Before Kneecap had even taken to Glastonbury's West Holt stage, punk duo Bob Vylan caused controversy, demanding the freeing of Palestine, but then calling for the death of those in the Israel Defense Forces. They departed to crowd cheers that only grew as Kneecap arrived. Their set was incredibly divisive, following a terrorism charge for one of its members.
Glastonbury, I'm a free man!
Liam O'Gohany, who performs under the name Makara, celebrated what he called freedom. Last week at Westminster Magistrates Court, he was released on unconditional bail after allegedly displaying a Hezbollah flag at a gig last year, something he denied. Today, his bandmate Nisha O'Carrollane recognised a possibly unwise cry for fans to start a riot at the next court date, later asking for just support instead.
For a trumped-up terrorism charge, we'll go to support Makara, we'll start a riot outside the court.
The group thanked Glastonbury organisers, the Evises, for not dropping them from the lineup.
The pressure that family was under.
Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said it wasn't appropriate for them to perform and was the subject of profanity-laden chants from Kneecap and the crowd. Those in attendance were firm backers of the Irish trio.
Always the same message, always the same songs, and yeah, we'll keep going.
Artists have always had spoken out politically, and it's an important thing.
I love Kneecap, I'm Irish, I just love the whole message and the music, so why would I not be here?
The government has strongly condemned Bob Vylan's actions. The Culture Secretary has spoken to the BBC Director General to see what due diligence was done ahead of Bob Vylan's performance and its live broadcast. Meanwhile, Avon and Somerset Police has tonight said it is assessing videos of comments made by today's acts on the West Holt stage to decide whether any offences have been committed, requiring a criminal investigation. The BBC has acknowledged that some of the comments made during Bob Vylan's set were deeply offensive. They put a warning on the live stream on iPlayer and said they have no intention of making the set available on demand. However, when it comes to Kneecap, who weren't live stream, the BBC has said that they will not ban artists. They will make sure everything falls within their editorial guidelines and plan to put up a version of their performance on demand available for people to see on all digital platforms very soon.
Sir Keir Starmer has said he did not get to grips with the growing rebellion over welfare reforms earlier as he was focused on international affairs. He also said he took ownership for his decisions. He believed as leader he should carry the can when things do not go well. The Prime Minister said he was occupied with the G7 and NATO summits and the escalating tensions in the Middle East for much of the past 2 weeks. He said he was heavily focused on what was happening with NATO and the Middle East all weekend, and that is his full attention really bore down on the welfare bill on Thursday. He defended the eventful U-turn, which came after more than 100 MPs launched a bid to kill the legislation with an amendment. On Sunday, Wes Streeting said he is confident the government will win a crunch vote on the welfare next week. The Health Secretary told Sky News Sunday morning with Trevor Phillips, the changes have put us in a much better position. As a result of the changes, it means anyone watching this morning who's in the receipt of personal independent payments now has the peace of mind of knowing that their situation is protected. Speaking to the Sunday Times, Starmer said, "Getting it right is more important than ploughing on with a package which doesn't necessarily achieve the desired outcome." He said all the decisions were his and that I take ownership of them. There have been reports that rebel MPs blame Starmer's Chief of Staff Morgan McSweeney for the government's approach. Starmer said, "My rule of leadership, when things go well, you get the plaudits. When things don't go well, you carry the can. I take responsibility for all the decisions made by this government. I do not talk about staff, and I'd much prefer it if everyone else didn't." Ministers had hoped the reforms would get more people back into work and save up to £5 billion a year, but the concessions made leave Chancellor Rachel Reeves needing to find money elsewhere and point the possible tax rises in autumn. On Saturday, the Prime Minister told the Welsh Labour Conference the broken welfare system must be fixed in a Labour way. He said, "We cannot take away the safety net that vulnerable people rely on, and we won't, but we also can't let it become a snare for those who can and want to work." Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch will hit out at Starmer as incapable of sticking to a decision after he backed down on his plans. The reforms would only have made modest reductions to the ballooning welfare bill, but the Prime Minister was too weak to hold the line. The Conservative Party leader is expected to say in a speech next week. The government's original welfare package has restricted eligibility for PIP, the main disability payment in England, as well as cutting the health-related element of universal credit. Existing recipients were to be given a 13-week phase-out period of the financial support in an earlier move that was seen as an aid bill to head off opposition. Now the changes to PIP will be implemented in November 2026 and apply to new claimants only, while all existing recipients of the health element of universal credit will have their incomes protected in real terms. The concessions on PIP alone protect 370,000 people currently receiving the allowance who are set to lose out following reassessment. As a year in office nears, more than half of voters think Labour has underperformed in that time, polling released on Saturday showed. The opinion survey showed 54% think Labour has done a worse job than expected, while 18% think the party has exceeded expectations. And we'll have more coming up on the STV Evening News after this very short break. Still to come. We'll have the very latest on this very hot weather we're having today. See you after the break. Hello and welcome back. British Rowing has defended its safeguarding policies in the wake of severe criticism from multiple Leander club rowers. The athletes were reacting to the suspension of a male athlete who has been banned from rowing at the club or entering its premises following new allegations. The same athlete was accused of sexually assaulting a female squad member in 2022, revealed in an investigation by STV News. But it's understood British Rowing's decision to temporarily suspend him is not related to his conduct at Leander Club. Leander rower told STV News the allegations were alarming. The national governing body of British Rowing and Leander continue to be slow to act and have outdated, inadequate safeguarding policies. Would this have happened if the stories hadn't hit national headlines, she said. The athletes wants the sport to be safe, and it's about time the appropriate measures are taken and procedures are put in place, she added. In a statement given to STB News, British Rowing said, "We act on the facts, not headlines. Our safeguarding processes rely on people coming forward directly so that concerns can be properly assessed and addressed. Media coverage doesn't determine our decisions, and suggesting otherwise misrepresents how safeguarding works." The rower described British Rowing's statement as inflammatory. Another said, "No one is saying British Rowing is to blame for the allegations. That lies only with the perpetrators. But people are asking, what are they doing to make rowing a safe sport for everyone? I don't think it's too much to ask." The governing body told STV News it was also reassessing how we investigated the information received at the time about the serious sexual assault at Leander Club. The news of the rower's suspension was first reported by The Telegraph. Leander Club is Britain's most prestigious rowing club with 21 medal rowers, bringing home medals from the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Earlier this month, STB News revealed Leander Club had carried out 2 investigations into its male athletes. One was accused of serious sexual assault in 2022, the other was investigated for harassment last year. The alleged victims were female rowers at Leander. Both men deny allegations. The fallout at Leander Club, which takes on 20 to 30 new athletes every year as members and boasts a host of Olympic champions as alumni, became so toxic that last season female rowers staged a walkout. The club's female rowers wore white ribbons on their kit to protest abuse and violence against women in the sport and to signal their unhappiness with the club's handling of both investigations. "We didn't want to represent the same club as people who have been accused of things like that," one rower told us. "We wanted to say we're not okay with it. We stand together as a squad and we will not stay silent." In a statement given to STB News at the time, Leander Club said, "We have strict procedures in place to carefully examine any formal complaints and regularly review our club disciplinary processes to ensure they are fit for purpose, treating our athletes fairly with respect." Still to come on the STV Evening News. We'll have more of the weather forecast as it's sweltering hot outside, just not in the studio. See you in a moment. Don't go away. Hello and welcome back. A scorching Sunday is in store for much of Britain as the second amber heat health alert in 2 weeks remains in place. In England, temperatures could hit 30 degrees in London, 28 degrees in the east of England, 28 degrees in the Midlands, the Met Office has said. But those in Scotland and England's southwest will have some respite, with 21 and 23 Celsius being the highest the mercury will reach respectively. Saturday saw temperatures of tops of 30 Celsius in England, with a provisional top temperature of 31.3 degrees in Heathrow. But let's have a look at the weather.
Hello there. So hot and humid across many parts of England and Wales as we go through the next few days. You can see though we have got this front across this central swathe of the UK producing a lot more cloud here and some patchy rain at times, but high pressure across the south, bringing in plenty of dry weather here as we go through this Saturday. Lots of sunshine and feeling exceptionally warm out there today. Highs up to around 30 degrees. Now as we go through this evening and tonight, that front will sink a little bit further south, so some patchy rain in place places, and we will see some thicker cloud moving into western parts as we edge overnight. But for many across the south, it will be quite a stuffy night out there, those temperatures between 15 and 17 degrees. So Sunday morning for many gets off to a largely cloudy start today, but you can see that cloud will push its way northwards as we go through the day. Further south, though, plenty of sunshine developing during the afternoon and turning even hotter than today. This time looking at highs there up to around 34 degrees. Bye-bye.
Can't say it's that warm in the studio. Lovely aircon. Stephen is here at 10, but from all of us here on the evening news, stay safe, please. Bye-bye.